from the barren desert to a fertile land. By the work of his hands, the Jew has changed the face of the good earth of Palestine. That earth, which is among the most hallowed in the world, to Jew and Christian alike. In the first part of our story of Palestine today, we showed you the Jew returning home from a harassed world. Then, in our last issue, you saw him building his home. Now the fruits of his labor. Tending his orange groves in Palestine today, the Jew has proved that all he needs is freedom to live at peace. Will the future bring him that peace? Never in recent history has there been such a striking demonstration of the unity of the modern French Empire as when the Prime Minister makes his state visit to Tunis. Monsieur Daladier is received by the Bey, the Mohammedan ruler of France's North African Empire, who decorates his guest with the silk sash of the Order of Nishan el-Dem, the highest decoration of the Arab kingdom. And then, through the cheering streets of this city in the desert, rides in triumph the strong man of modern France. At the state banquet in the evening, Monsieur Daladier speaks of France's invincible power, strong enough to meet every attack and every challenge.
De faire face à toutes les attaques et à tous les défis.
And the next morning, amidst the sun and driving sand of the desert, Monsieur Daladier watches a part of that might of which he spoke the night before. Tunisian levies, black Senegalese sharpshooters, foreign legionnaires, tanks, guns, Mahis at full gallop on their white Arab ponies, the mighty power of France across the sea. Once again, it looks as if all London is out for fun on the ice. But skating around on your own 2 feet is only part of the show. There's also a big ice hockey match. Ballet policemen versus ballet convicts. And I shouldn't wonder if the Scotsman's kilt... Ah, Uncle George is here. If the Scotsman's kilt doesn't hide quite a few international stars. The game is getting faster every minute. Now, Papa Smack. Ladies and gents, a goal. And then there are the 3 bruises. 1, 2, but where's the 3rd? Ah, wouldn't you like to know? Ladies and gents, Tishy will now jump the hurdle. Ladies and gents, we take great pleasure in announcing that Tishy will now jump the hurdle. Take a good look at Billy Meesky. Take a good look at Pat Gallagher. Take a very good look, because they'll never be the same again. A Happy New Year, Gallagher, and here's mud in your eye. The boys dive down for the first wallow round, and hey, look what Pat's found. Why, it's Bill Meesky. Or is it a ref left over from last football season? The ref says 'tain't fair. What did you say, ref? The ref says it's a muddy shame. At that, they forget all about the rules and bury the ref. Just nice, clean fun. But sensation. A wrestling fan demands fair play. So you want fair play, huh? Okay, come in and find it. And as he goes down for the 3rd time, there's a growing suspicion that somewhere under the surface, somebody is doing somebody else dirt. But when Gallagher puts on the hat, what else can they do but declare him the winner? Bill Meesky is disqualified. He gave Pat a dirty look. Of surprises, if ever there was one. And one of the biggest is the match between 1st Division Aston Villa and 3rd Division Ipswich Town. It's one of the fastest games ever seen at Villa Park, but so even that at half-time neither side has scored. And that sort of play goes on until 7 minutes before the end. Then Villa bang one in. It looks as if that's that. With only 2 minutes to go, the visitors equalise, making the score 1-1. So both the Villa and Ipswich live to play another day. And it's the same story with Middlesbrough and Bolton. There isn't much to choose between the clubs in the 1st Division table, and there's not much to choose between their play today, though Bolton have won the cup 3 times. The ground's been badly frostbitten, but neither team suffering from cold feet. The ball moves fast from one side of the centre line to the other, and there are one or two narrow escapes, but that's all that happens. And the net result is exactly nothing. So after a goalless game, for Middlesbrough and Bolton, it's a return.
I'm asking you to think for a moment of the men, women and children who are being driven from their homes in Germany and Austria by a cruel persecution. Thousands have preferred suicide to their misery. Many who cannot themselves escape are sending away their children, even though they know they may never see them again, lest these children should share their misery. This is the purpose for which Lord Baldwin has made a national appeal. The fund will give help impartially to all the victims of persecution, and remember, among them are multitudes of Christians as well as of Jews.
The entertainment industry is making its contribution to the fund on January the 14th, when, as the Archbishop says,
the cinemas, theatres, music halls throughout the country will generously give 10% of their receipts and collections will be made. I ask you all to take your own part in this great work of mercy.
One of the biggest news stories of 1939 casts its shadow before. The Navy is fitting and polishing up HMS Repulse, painting and decorating her commander's day room until it's fit for a queen, enlarging her dining room to serve the meals of a king. For next May, HMS Repulse is to carry their majesties across the Atlantic for their state visit to Canada and the US. When all the work is done, the Repulse won't know herself, and the ship, her officers and her crew will be taking on the greatest responsibilities of their career when they bear their royal burden to the new world. The Commonwealth welcomes her newest protector, HMAS Hobart, formerly the Apollo of our Royal Navy, now of the Royal Australian Navy. The Hobart carries a seaplane, 8 big guns, 8 anti-aircraft guns and 8 torpedo tubes. Her officers and men are mostly Australians, commanded by Captain Robert Ross Stewart. They will spend at least 2 years in Australian waters. They have come from the other side of the world where things happen, and now they're back home, where things happen. In the Union, it's the same story, empire defense. South Africa, too, has a navy, but she relies also for her coast defense on her mighty guns. That was once a target. So if anybody's thinking of invading South Africa, they'd better watch out. 2 society weddings in the Henry VII Chapel at Westminster Abbey. Miss Pamela Fletcher is married to the Honourable Patrick Hall-Riven, only son of the Governor-General of Australia and Lady Gowrie. The train bearer is little Sally Hall-Riven, who looks charming in a 16th century velvet dress. Wedding number 2 is at the Church of the Assumption in Warwick Street. Miss Elaine Wills, a member of the famous tobacco family, is the bride of the French Comte de Trévoux. Only 17, she is the youngest society bride of the new year. The Comte is 29, and they're off for a honeymoon in France and Belgium. £900 of black happiness, the famous variety act, the Pethe sisters, come out of Croydon to fly to Paris. They booked 3 seats, but when the company weighed them, they found they had the avoir du poise of 6. So they had to go back and book 3 more seats. But it's okay now, girls. Just push your way in. So long, girls. Don't let Gay Paris get you down. And the plane takes off, or at least it tries to. We're not sure yet whether it'll make it.
It's a gilt-edged, diamond-studded night when Impresario Earl Carroll opens his new nightclub with a £200 cover charge. Joan Bennett arrives with producer Walter Wanger. The £200 cover charge, by the way, lasts forever, so it's not so bad if you live long enough. Claudette Colbert has managed to save enough for a snack. A magnificent petrol chariot brings another couple of stars, Constance Bennett and Gilbert Rowland. And inside, so as to justify the expense, there appear the most beautiful girls in the world, see small bills, a super supper show with knobs on.